Hello all, we've made it to what is almost the last day of this unit. This is unit 1, day 4. And today the large focus is going to be on just talking about the AP exam, what that looks like, and talking about the writing portion of the AP exam. So when you look at the AP exam, it really breaks down into what is 3 parts. The first part is the multiple choice section. You generally have 55 questions and 55 minutes to ask those multiple choice questions. When you're looking at the AP multiple choice, it's different than your typical multiple choice would be because every AP multiple choice question has a stimulus that goes with that. So for example, you might have a picture, you might have a quote, you might have a graph, a chart, something like that. All of them have those and then have several questions that relate to those. Now, as you go through your tests through the year in this class, I'm going to include a lot of those questions on the test so that you are familiar with that style of question. One thing that I'm not going to include a ton is that when they are asking these questions on the AP exam, they're going to draw a lot of connections between different periods. So for example, when we are talking about the New Deal, FDR and the New Deal, a lot of times the AP exam likes to compare that to Lyndon B. Johnson's Great Society. So a lot of times AP will use this as a way to draw connections between periods. I don't do a lot of that on the test because I would prefer to focus on just that section. And a lot of times they jump ahead to sections that we haven't got to. As we get farther on in the year, when we look at, or when you have those questions on tests, they will be relating to things that we have covered before. You're also going to see these kind of questions in the daily quizzes that I have given you. You've seen them already, what those kind of questions look like. I encourage you with those questions. I know that they can seem really tough, but I promise you they are a lot better than what AP used to have. They used to have one question with 5 answer choices, a lot of it fact-based, which was very difficult for some people. So I encourage you with that, even if it does get tedious with reading the quotes and that kind of things. You can do it. I know you can. The next part of the AP exam is the writing portion of that. This is a section that we will also focus in on tests. I'll have you do examples of those. As I told you at the beginning unit, you'll have writing due each unit as well. This unit, I did not assign the writing until today because I didn't want you to get ahead and not really know how to answer the questions. So with that, you have the first part of it is a document-based question. This question, you have 60 minutes to answer that, and that is where they will give you anywhere between 7 and 9 documents to look at and analyze, and it is your job to include those documents as part of your essay response. Now, when we talk about AP essays, as far as this class goes, they are always 5-paragraph essays with an introduction, a conclusion, and then 3 body paragraphs. In the introduction, you will have a thesis statement that you have to write as well, which is always the last sentence of the introductory paragraph. Now, I know some of you may be taking AP composition or another AP English class, and you're going to realize that the way that you write for history is going to be a lot different than the way that you write for English. Whereas English, you use a lot of flowery language and use a lot of adjectives and that kind of thing. When you're writing for history, you don't do that. Really, historians want to know the facts, and they want to know that you understand the facts and how the facts relate to each other. So try to avoid the flowery language that you get in an English class. So first, the document-based question. Again, they give you documents to analyze. You have to include those documents as part of your essay. We'll focus more on this in the next unit when you're actually assigned a DBQ to write. And just know from this unit, or from basically unit 2 to unit 9, you're going to have a DBQ to write every single unit. The second thing that you'll do, writing portion of the AP exam, is the long essay. You'll hear me refer to this as the free response question because that's what they used to call it. And that they give you 3 options on the exam and you choose one of them to write. All 3 options come from different time periods. This is a great improvement over how it used to be even when I took AP US History in high school and you got your free response question and that's what you got. So now you can actually choose and pick, the era that you feel most comfortable answering with. That one you have, again, 40 minutes to answer that question. And that question, again, is a 5-paragraph essay. Now, an important difference between that and the DBQ is they're not giving you the documents this time. So you're pretty much relying fully on what you know and your knowledge of that. Now, a similarity between the document-based question and the free response, which this is something that is very hard for students to understand and grasp, is that you have to include outside information in it. This is more of a struggle with the document-based question, but with these, the AP graders want you to include outside information. This is very important in the long essay because really the whole essay is based on what you know outside of that. But it's very important also in the document-based question. So often I see people that stick to just the documents that they are given, and you are not going to get a good score if you do that, because they, again, want to see you pull in outside information and show that you know the content. Now, the third part of the writing portion of the AP exam are the short answer questions. This is something that's relatively new. It's been around, I think, about 4 years on the AP exam. The short answer question, among my favorite. You're going to see pretty much all of our tests. I only use short answer questions on our tests, and I will give those sometimes in the daily quiz as well. The purpose of these short answer questions, generally they have 3 parts, A, B, and C. You have to answer all parts of that. And they usually have some sort of stimulus, again, that goes with it. Usually they'll give you a couple pictures, a couple quotes. Generally, that's what it falls under. They'll give you that and then ask questions based on that information and then what you already know. Now, they call these short answer questions because, again, they want them to be answered briefly. The 3 portions for each one of them, generally 2 to 3 sentences each, is all you need to write to answer each portion of a short answer question. I have served as an AP grader ever since they started doing the short answer questions, and the short answer questions are actually what I grade on the AP exam. And I can tell you from my experience, again, usually 3 sentences per portion is all that you really need to answer these questions. And I will tell you the bar for getting points on these questions is pretty low. I mean, you don't have to do a lot. You just have to show some general knowledge of it, and you are going to get the points for that. So on the AP exam, there are 3 short answer questions. There's 2 that they're going to give you that are required. You don't have a choice. And then the last one, you get a couple options as far as what you want to choose. And you have 40 minutes to answer those 3 short answer questions. So you can see the time they give you, not a lot of time, but they are expecting you to be brief with your answers in those. So today what I have given you is I've given you some examples in the slide presentation of all of these different types of questions. I've also given you, from the 2016 administration of the exam, I've given you what the short answer questions was on that, as well as some student samples. And you can see in the student examples what those students who wrote the essays did and what their score was on that. So I encourage you, I know it's a long document, but I encourage you to peruse through that and see what other people did for their short answer questions. Because really seeing examples of it is going to help you understand the best what you were expected to do on those questions. And lastly, for today, what you're going to have is a short answer question to answer on your own and to turn in. I hope that what I've given you will be enough to help you do that. It's based on the content that we have already learned in this, and you'll be able to go through and answer that, and I can grade those and give you feedback on what you need to do on that. Again, when you look at this AP exam, if you have never taken an AP U.S. history or an AP history class before, again, you're going to realize the writing portion of it is very different than what you have done in other classes. Sure, the components are the same as far as a 5-paragraph essay with an introduction, conclusion, 3 body paragraphs, but what historians are looking for when they write is very different than what an English teacher is looking for when they write. History, again, is about the facts and connecting those facts together and showing that you can make an argument and then support that argument with facts. If you're like me, you see social media today, most people don't support their argument with any kind of facts. Really, your job, though, as a historian is to make an argument and then to support that with facts. As always, I'm here to help. please send me an email or get in touch with me however possible to let me know if you need any specific help or if you're really struggling. I would be more than willing to help you. Like I said, I've been an AP grader now for I think about 4 years. So I have a pretty good grasp on what the short answer question and what they are looking for as far as that. So thank you again for tuning in. Make sure you go through that slides presentation and have a great day.